Welcome back to Kaiserpunk, episode number 8. We're going to add in a warehouse to increase our global supply limit. And we have new products in algae. We just added silk and then grapes. Well, let's go ahead and make sure that we are getting all of the farm types. Oh, algae is smaller than I expected it to be. Oh, never mind. It's offshore. Yes, it is. We'll go ahead and add that in here. Okay, you're going to need a water tower. We'll get that in just a second. And the grapes. Go ahead and put that one into the interior. All right, that one's good to go. That one just needs a water tower. And a power substation as well. Another new industry, galena ore. So we can start making lead and other various items. Let's go ahead and get this in. Oh, we need to find galena ore out here in the world. Alright, we've got that connected up. We need a power substation as well. And the last new resource is going to be aluminum, at least for the time being. Here we go again. 13k in the red all of a sudden. We're going to have to address that one quickly here. And of course, it's pour more taxes in. Increasing the populace, we're going to have to get after the technicians as well, and then we're going to have to likewise address the technicians' morale. More manufacturers as well, just pushing it all up. Risky business we're playing here. There we go. Positive balance. Restoring quickly. Just dangerous balance in this area. Time to focus on some additional things like producing pies. Last time we got into pies fairly early. This time we're just now getting around to it. Okay, we have silk. We don't have dye, so we're not going to be able to make silk cloth just yet. So let's look at dye. No, not available. Algae and fish is available though, so we can make sushi bar. Let's see if we can squeeze this in up here. Now that we have galena ore, we need lead and silver. We're going to go ahead and put these out there where the galena is. And with steel and brass already done, that's all of the smelter options taken care of. Our fire seems to be growing. We're going to have to check in on that here in a second. Yeah, there's a lot of fires happening at the moment. About time we add another fire station out in this area. Oh, nice little fit right there. Prison is something new that we haven't gotten into. This will help with the employment as well. So let's figure out where. Right next to the trade depot. Love it. Trade or trade prisoners. Take your pick. We can start making telephones now. We've got the plastics, finally. So there's another industry that can actually, pay. And this is our tricky balance right now. Trying to get enough taxes in. One thing I haven't checked on at all is I do not know if you can take a labor high rise. No. And they're just coolly taken care of. So we've really got the laborers under control now. They've got 100% needs met. Food is needs met for everybody. It's the luxuries that's 180, 58, and just 40. So we definitely need to increase luxuries, but education is limited for all. Nobody's where they need. I think health is the last one. I don't know. Defense? Possibly the one in between. Safety? Probably safety. Alright, we need an elementary school. Reading information is always helpful. Provide safety to technicians. That's what the prisons do. And we have another new neighbor that we've recently discovered. And this prison needs to be out here. Increase the range of it right away. And this is going to really help things, but we've got to also cut costs. That is going to make those manufacturers happy, or the technicians happier. That'll rise up. Their safety was only a 30 for the rating. In fact, I think it was lower than that. But it looks like health is a concern for this group. Oh, the hospital or the clinic, I see. There's a difference between the two. But finances are suddenly running adrift. Let's get some specialists in. They could pay a lot of taxes for us. With our first high rise. Our first skyscraper. Sweet. There's that balance going in the right direction again. Let's get out on the world map for a little bit and see what we can do. These guys are ready to reinforce. And electricity has been used up. Just as we're starting to make that healthier balance. It's all a big balancing act. We're going to use the specialists and make our first natural gas power plant. It too is going to go out here though. So it'll fit right there. And just like that, we have plenty of power and water for the foreseeable future. First battalion ready to go. We're going to take out Winnipeg first before we head up to Nunavut. Ooh, did not remove a garrison on that first attack either. And speaking of military, how are we doing? Okay, so we do have our first 3 units complete, but we are still working on the pounder gun. Oh, I thought those were produced a long time ago. Let's see, where is that factory? Nope, that's a warehouse. Ooh, warehouse gets upgrades. Global stock limit. Global stock limit. That's weird. We made a bunch of pounders, but we don't seem to have them anymore. Just realized that my infantry tank unit never got applied. We can change that if we disband one of these guys. And then we will get our infantry tank unit, cutting us down to 5 militia. In fact, we need to do this twice. Make room for both of our infantry tank units. So, first battalion going through a little bit of a change. It's also time we get into that shipyard and increase our military presence. Does this need to be in the water? It does. We could skip right past corvettes and go into destroyers, but I think we want a little of both. Suppose we better get our naval base. Alright. For our first navy, corvettes and destroyers are available. We need just 3 corvettes and then 3 destroyers per. So if we go with about 4 sets or a dozen corvettes. So we only need a dozen corvettes, not 40. Round numbers are getting a little bit better for everybody, so we're hanging in there. We're just maintaining a positive balance for the time being, though. A lot of that being unemployment. But taking care of various needs is making a difference. So we're starting to build up a navy. We're starting to build up a bigger, better, stronger 2nd battalion. But we're already now making improvements upon our 1st battalion. So we have a new tank unit there. I had a 2nd. Where did it go? Ooh, full-on light tank now. But let's get that infantry. I don't know how it's still... Oh, it's just the 1 queued. I see. Well, we're going to make it 2. We are going to make it 2. Once they are both done, though, we will get them deployed. It'll make that 1st battalion a little bit stronger. And then in time, we're going to upgrade each of them as well. We could actually probably start upgrading one of them here fairly soon, as we're getting pretty close on things there. Now's a good time to check in on our balance. I know there's going to be a few negatives that are pretty bad. Yeah, it's been a little while. That's the thing. You grow, you upgrade, you increase your population, you increase your demands, and so it's just that revolving door cycle. Fish have a slight negative. Ale has a slight negative, and meat. Let's start with some easy ones. All right, adding meat, adding vegetables. We just added the brewery, so we've started tackling a few of those problems. We've also added in a little more, as these all require laborers, so getting that number back up. Slight positive balance, just kind of ticking the direction we need it to, but we've got these guys still in fairly good shape. And of course, like I said, this is already getting us into new industries as we have a navy growing, and we're improving those two battalions as we speak. Vegetables almost positive. We'll leave it as is for a moment. I mean, we got 1.9k. I don't think it's as bad as they make it sound. But we need a few basic supplies now, so like bread. We have a negative on diesel for the first time. We're probably going to have to address that one. That can cause some serious problems. If that runs out, then we've got plenty for now. And actually, same with the bread. Newspapers, clothes, radios do not have a supply, or gramophones for that matter, so I should probably be starting with these guys. All right, great balance for the moment, and we also just hit 5k on the population, which means we have a upgrade available to our town center. We're going to go in the tradition route. I don't mind that it's pushing us away from center, as I feel like we're going to be the powerhouse, or at least we're playing to be the powerhouse and take victory through conquest. And speaking of, let's check back in on how are these guys looking. They are ready to deploy. Let's get them deployed. They'll be out there in 3 days to join the rest of the battalion, and that'll be a stronger battalion than what we had before, as yeah, we're about to have our second enemy ready for war. Meanwhile, okay, there you go. We've gotten somewhere with this one. So we now have a 1-pounder gun. I think we can go ahead and make another. Let's get 75 queued up, and I'm guessing we don't have that quantity. I think I only crafted 80 in the first place. Yeah, we had 13 left. We'll get another 100 on the go. And are we able to queue up light tanks yet? Looks like the answer is yes. And we're probably going to need a couple of 100 of those guys, or 250. Sounds great. The light tank is steel and rubber, so absolutely no problem there. We have our first unit ready. Our second unit is going to be ready here very soon, so we are getting somewhere with the Navy. We're going to deploy these guys out into the field here fairly soon. But let's go ahead and queue up 2 light tank units. They've nearly deployed. Ooh, look at that healthy balance now. So in the research side, military's pushed up to 6. It's playing catch up to the other areas, but we're doing really. Transport's at 14. It's almost maxed out. It is almost maxed out, but living utilities are getting pretty high. Agriculture is up to an 11. Manufacturing at 10. Yeah, just civics, morale, military lagging behind a little bit to everything else. Oh, and we have just discovered another neighbor, is it? We are suffering from firebombing. We are under attack. We need an air force, apparently. Let's get out on that world map, make sure there's not something. I don't know how we're getting firebombed. I mean, nobody else is anywhere near us. Here is Central Europe. The Yugoslav kingdom is... It's Magellan's Faithful. Australia. There's the Yugoslav kingdom. And the Siberian tribes. Only one, the Mali Empire, so they should be right down in here. Okay, do you have your units now? You do. Let's see what we do with a little extra firepower. Okay, it is a defeat, but we do take one of the garrisons and do make some progress, and with really just minor losses within the group there. Love how quickly the income balance has really fixed itself. Crude oil, slight negative. Lumber, okay, that's been building a long time. I only have a single mill that's taking care of that. That's easy fix. Let's fix that one before anything goes crazy here. Clearly there's a demand for more diesel, so we're going to get that taken care of. Okay, vegetables have gone negative once again, as has clothing. Clothing at 0, so we'll get vegetables and clothing now. Newspapers and radio are the next ones we better get after with the lack of stock. Alright, we're draining bread pretty quickly. Let's get some more bread on the go, and then food rations. We've also found a purpose for the aluminum that we brought in quite a while ago, aluminum sheets, and then those and meat can make canned meat for us in a cannery, so we're going to get both of those on the go. Time for another new industry. We need to start making chemicals from crude oil. We're going to also need to get our last crude oil station up and running. Actually, we're not. We're local stock full. But at this refinery, we're going to change this. Not to the kerosene. We need the chemicals first. There we go. We probably need to start making the kerosene as well. Local stock is full. Are you already... Let's get you a third. So cut your costs. We should probably be cutting costs here as well. Ooh, yep, there's your almost negative cash flow once again. It looks like we can easily handle more technicians in the short term, though. From chemicals, we can make dye, and that's going to get us in the silk that we made. We're going to go ahead and make that up here. I think you need a second depot. We're already starting to see that it's lagging behind a little bit, so depot number 2 for the area. Time to get into the silk cloth business. We're going to start making the silk cloth, and then we're going to start making fine garments. I may have missed a street, but I think I've just about gotten the entire city upgraded to proper paved roads now. Outside of the city, that's definitely not the case, but inside the city, that is the case. And water supply is down to 5, so need to address that one once again. Alright, heading back out into the world map, and let's see how we're doing on trying to take these guys down. 2 militia replaced by 2 tanks. Didn't seem to make a significant difference on the first attack. We're still under defeat, but it is down to 1. We're going to go ahead and get our Navy deployed out here in kind of a QRF type scenario, quick reaction force, where we can respond to Europe or West Africa. At this point, West Africa might be your easier target, like Atlas Range, or Iberia for that matter. Yeah, Iberia, there's your easy target to get a foothold. But meanwhile, we're still struggling to just kind of hold our own land. But speaking of, there's other things like this Great Lakes. There's upgrades, there's garrisons, there's things to do in these areas. Like an outpost serves as a supply point for your armies. Resources need to be first brought to the outpost before armies can resupply from the outpost automatically. Don't need one right there though. That's the tricky thing, is there's a lot of decision making to be had. This should finish off Winnipeg for us. Yes, there you go, victorious. None of it looks like there's a lot going on there. A lot. I think we'll kind of come into none of it last, and yes, there is a lot going on there. First fleet just deployed to sea, and we are in need of more light tanks. I thought we made... Are we not done with the order before switching over to light tanks? Probably the situation that we're in. A lot of local stock full situations. Let's see here. Vehicle factory. Okay, they're working on it. So they just finished the pounder guns task, and they're just starting the light tanks. I see. Let's cut costs. Electrical parts now available, and it's the final one. We're already making the dies. We're making everything else. The electric factory is the final thing in the production line. That's all of the heavy industries. TV sets, though, our last one that we don't have anything for just yet. So let's get the TV sets made. And it looks like we need some additional electricity. Another power substation. Might as well throw in an extra water tower in the area as well. Oof, balance hovering at 0. But specialists, technicians, let's get some more specialists. Our second high rise. How are you still short of electricity? You must have some really high electricity consumption demands. 17 kilowatts, that's not much. You're putting out 70. We're definitely starting to reach the later phase of this thing. Well, not quite. All of the housing types are available. All of the utility types are available. All of the transport buildings are available, and we're utilizing all of them. All of the cultivation buildings are now available, and we are using all of them. Not for the mining, though. We still have a little bit to get into, but we did recently get Galena ore on the go, and we already had these others. We're looking at we've got aluminum and quartz as well. There's one more, gold. We've got to get morale 10 to unlock that one. But for production buildings, there's a new one. There it is, wine. We can finally start producing wine. But we are already doing the sushi, the juice, the fish soup, the ale. We are now making clothes and fine garments, cloth and silk cloth, bread and pie, and flowers. So all of these types, there's just a couple more to get into. And then this is your big one. I mean, you got lumber yards, you got brickworks, you got 4 types of products for a smelter. As the Magellans have declared war on us, there's your second. Cellulose from the wood, paper, newspapers, lots of them. We have diesel, rubber, chemicals, natural gas. Kerosene is the only one left. We can absolutely get into that now, and I think I might as well. Now that the other one's up and running smoothly. And we just added an extra depot here, so I'm not too worried about that. We have plenty of supply of goods, and we've got to make sure we switch this up to, there you go, kerosene. Let's also throw in some cost cutting and production. I'm only planning on having one of those guys. All right, so that's all of the above now from the refinery. We are also making all of the above from the appliance factory. Gramophones, telephones, radios, TV sets. Now we might need more of some of these. I'll check on that soon enough based on our population. But the cement factory, the concrete mixer, the plastics, the aluminum sheets, all of the above. Yeah, we got it all. Oh, and the last of these are also open now. Let's see, the aluminum sheets. We are making glass. We are making canned meat. We are making electrical parts, and we are making dye. So we have all of the above in the heavy industry. There's really just those couple production buildings. Meanwhile, in the public service, I just unlocked the university. And I know just where to put that. Now that I know kind of how these function, oh, I can't do any upgrades to it just yet. What's your range? You're gonna hit the first high rise at least, not the second. But that'll start to tick things upward for us on the education needs. I definitely have most of the public service buildings up and running and needs being met. Radio station. One of the big things I'm learning here is effective range. There's a reason why you put all the housing together. And it makes total sense because all of these things are happening. What are you guys upset about? Okay, well, whatever that was. As a result, insufficient water. Joy. Too much drain in the area. Let's see. Nope, that's power. That's windmills. Oh my gosh, I have windmills still. I don't need a windmill. Let's get rid of it. And get a water tower instead. Range and cost is all you could do with those. It would be nice if you could store more, but I also kind of get it. Makes sense that you can't. Ay, already back to a negative balance. Alright, back on the world map. These guys are ready to invade others, and you've got, yeah, garrison stuff to go. I think I'm going to hit the Cascades and then make our way back. I gotta get that 2nd battalion though deployed here fairly soon, and I need to get these guys. 8. Holy cow. No wonder we took a beating. We need to upgrade these militia units in particular. We need to start upgrading this battalion. Oof, getting close. Already 1 tank unit. 2nd tank unit. We will need also 1 more light infantry unit to fill it out, giving us a 4, 2, and 2. And then we will deploy them as a much stronger battalion than the other one soon enough. Meanwhile, these guys continue to grow. We've got 1 more ready to deploy. Let's go ahead and get them joining. And these guys, let's start the changeover. We are going to replace this militia with a light infantry unit. And there's our enemies growing and expanding once again. How are we looking on that now? Conquest. Not that far, not as far ahead any longer. Just about everybody's growing. Diplomacy, not worried about that one. We're not making friends. But yeah, suddenly our enemies are over 100k. We're at 255, but we do have a fight on our hands. Okay, balance check for the first time in a little while again is getting pretty nasty in a few areas. Clothes and radios, the sushi as well. Fire is suddenly becoming a problem for us. Depots still having a hard time keeping up. Maybe I need to try to squeeze in a new one. Into that pocket. There you go. The rate of new fires makes me think we are under attack once again. I know that that's a regular part of this game, and I'm not sure. We need to get ourselves an Air Force on the go if somebody else already has an Air Force as well. We definitely need to focus on military advancement once we resolve some of these negative balances. 2nd Battalion is getting close. They are close. We're on the last unit, just waiting on rifles for them. So I'm going to go ahead and get them deployed. Oh, you could choose where to deploy them. Oh, I like that. We're going to deploy them all the way down to Mesa Verde so we can start pushing south. Meanwhile, these guys are going to continue to retool, rearm. We are waiting 3 days for that militia unit to deploy and join them. Or, sorry, the regular unit, the light infantry unit. Just slowly growing the strength of this one. But they are having a harder time with this Cascade territory. I'm wondering if this one's it is a little easier. Oh, hello. We got an enemy Navy. That's defeat. Really? We take a scratch and we 95% destroy them, but that's not a win. I guess the only way to win is to conquer. Alright. Checking in. Research development. 15 transports all the way up. And others are certainly getting closer. Military is up to 7. What did we unlock with 7? Fighter triplanes and airships. Okay, well, that means the Air Force becomes a possibility. Alright, resolving these negatives, though. Sushi, still negative. What? Produced is only 4? 2 sushi plants, and we are only producing 4. That seems unlikely. But food rations. Food rations is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So let's take all those food rations. We're only making 9. Alright, so we're going to make more food rations. We're going to make more army rations. We're only producing 9, so let's up that production cycle. Alright, push and negative balance. We've used up a lot of manufacturers. So there's your obvious addition. Alright, 2nd Battalion. At least that's what I'm going to call them. They do have one more unit ready to deploy, but let's hold off on that for now. So they are short 1 regular unit. Let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah, they're going to do serious firepower in comparison. So took out 2 of 4 in a single attack. Let's now get them their first upgrade, and they're a little stronger now. Not significantly, but they're a little stronger now as we got the first. But after this, we will go back in. Yeah, look how much less damage that they took. We did take out 1. So that garrison is weakened from 8 down to 7. Ooh, we don't have field guns. Okay, we're going to have to get more field guns made. Okay, so last unit deployed there. Everybody else is already back up to full strength. Meanwhile, here, we are going to replace this unit with some light infantry. I have a feeling also that if you build it, it's going to ultimately kind of unlock new areas. So field howitzers is going to be our next thing. But, you know, the vehicle factories, we can swap out away from the field guns and produce more pounder guns. I think a 2nd vehicle factory, though, is going to be helpful. It would be really nice if it was right next to the other one, though. Split things up. One could focus on tanks and one could focus on artillery. We are making ammunition, but we are not making artillery shells. I think we're going to need to do that, or are we? Some machine guns? Let's get into that. Alright, well, finances are definitely looking better. We have plenty of people, though morale is always one of those things to keep an eye on, but we haven't had any issues with that in a long time, and we are, of course, actively growing our military. But let's get back out here, and let's finish off this silly unit here. There we go. That's just neutral Navy out there, and there are other units around, but this is going to get us control. One thing I'm noticing though is we don't have some sort of pathway over here from where we're at, so we're going to need a fleet that kind of cuts off. Yeah, the big question is, how do you get across the ocean if there is no clear path across the ocean? Okay, another unit to deploy. Let's go ahead and deploy them. So that'll be in a day. These guys are fully deployed. Let's go ahead and attack again. This is now the full 2nd Battalion. Victorious. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's now turning into a different story, right? Growth and expansion is a lot faster with a 2nd tier unit against the AI defenders. Meanwhile, these guys are ready to deploy, so they'll be ready. In the meantime, do we want to? Yes, let's go ahead and attack again. Just gotta wear them down, right? Bit by bit. But as we get this battalion upgraded, like the other one, they will slowly finish off this area down to 6. All right, folks. Our control of North America is definitely getting bigger, better, stronger, but we are developing enemies, and we are, left with problems on our hands that require resolving. So it's not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination that we are going to win this thing, but it's certainly feeling like we could go in that direction. Controlling the Americas, having control of the Americas is going to be vital. It looks like it's going to take more than one Navy to be effective, but I do think that these 2 battalions will get control. I mean, these guys are already ready to attack our next enemy, which has more enemies than the previous one Sierra Madre had, but the Yucatan should be easy enough. Yeah, almost completely wiped them out. We'll get them on the next one. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.